Making national headlines this morning. The case of 4 Idaho college students murdered in their sleep nearly 3 years ago is finally over.
The admitted killer in this case, Bryan Kohberger, will spend the rest of his life behind bars. Family members and friends of the murdered college students gave their statements at yesterday's hearing, and a judge sentenced Kohberger to life in prison. Fox's Kennedy Hayes joining us live from Boise, Idaho this morning with the latest on this. And Kennedy, some new police documents now shedding more light this morning about Kohberger and that confession.
Amy and Danielle, that is right. I was in the courtroom the entire morning. The victim impact statements lasted about 2 hours, and then Bryan Kohberger had the chance to speak, but he only chose to say 3 words. I respectfully declined. The judge says, though, even if Kohberger had said more, there's no reason to believe he'd be telling the truth. And as you mentioned, overnight, hundreds of police documents, unsealed, became available. And investigators say even though they released those documents, through everything, they're still not sure why Kohberger chose that specific house.
We have never, to this date, found a single connection between him and any of the 4 victims or the 2 surviving roommates.
You said earlier you couldn't identify a reason the house was targeted. Do you have a motive?
We don't.
Inside court, families and friends of the victims gave emotional statements. The 2 surviving roommates talked about the trauma they're still living with ever since that November 2022 night. One victim's sister called Kohberger a, quote, sociopath, psychopath, and murderer. Even the judge and lead prosecutor got emotional, wiping away tears. And many family members looked Kohberger directly in the eyes as they spoke. He didn't react, just stared back. Kohberger pled guilty earlier this month to avoid the death penalty. The judge sentenced him to 4 consecutive life terms without parole and 10 more years for burglary. He's also been ordered to pay $270,000 to the victims' families, but not everyone agrees with the outcome.
It wasn't justice. It was just a shortcut, and we said from the very beginning we're not interested in a shortcut for our daughter.
The sentence will ensure that this evil will never again terrorize a family as he did ours and 3 others.
And investigators say they did not find any ties between Kohberger's social media and maybe why he looked after those specific victims. As for Kohberger, right now he's being held in a maximum security facility just outside of Boise. Amy, Michelle.
Kennedy, what I find fascinating is he just had those 3 words, I respectfully declined, but then no words for his mother and his sister, apparently, who were also in court.
Yes, I did notice, though, both when the hearing started, as soon as Kohberger walked in, he was smiling at someone in the audience sitting right in front of me. And then I realized it was his mother and sister. And then also when the hearing was over, he tried to whisper something, communicate with his mother and sister. So that was the first time I saw both of them. Usually his father was there during the plea deal hearing. He did not attend the sentencing hearing yesterday.
All right, so shocking.
Fascinating.
Yeah, you talk about
Tragic.
just trauma for these families for the rest of their lives. All right, thank you so much, Kennedy.